Welcome to the Studio Light Rig version 1.0. As you can see here, we have the Mental-Ray user interface and also the V-Ray user interface open. Both of them work identical. The user interface has been set up the same way. The workflow and the feature list is the same. The only difference is one is using Mental-Ray as the render engine, and the other is using V-Ray as the render engine source. Today, we're going to work with the Mental-Ray Studio Light Rig to create a beautiful render of this chopper model in a studio rendering environment. Let's begin. I'll move quickly so that we can see how fast and easily we can set up a beautiful render for this chopper model. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch our renderer over to Mental-Ray and also turn on our gamma settings just by simply loading the render preset. It's going to ask me to enable gamma and I'll say OK to that. And then the render engine is locked and loaded. If I right click on this render preset button, it'll bring up the render dialog box and you'll notice now we're set to render with Mental-Ray. Next, what I'll do is I'll bring in a background. So let's go ahead and load up from one of our presets here, the S-Curve Cyc background. I'll just go ahead and scale it a little bit just so it fits our model a little bit more appropriately and make a minor adjustment to it. And I'll just check from the camera view to make sure that it fits the full length of the camera view. Next, let's go ahead and create a couple of studio lights and start to render. I'll go ahead and create a studio light rig just by clicking on the Create Studio Light Rig. It'll take a few seconds to initialize the system, and then every other light you create after that will be just about instantaneous. I'll take this light here and I'll move it forward, and I'll use this as our key light. So let's go ahead and make an adjustment to it. And the first thing I'll do is I'll make the width and the height a little bit bigger so we illuminate the scene much more. At the same time, I'll also grab the master object and I'll lift it up and bring it towards the center of our chopper model. And then I'll bring this back down and make some minor adjustments to it. Next, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and change my map type to an octagon softbox. And then I'll pull it out just a little bit more so it's a little bit further away from our model. Next, I'll decrease the light intensity a little bit. Let's do a value of 1.5. And I'll adjust the map intensity to a value of 1.2 just so that the reflections are a little bit sharper on this. Next, let's go and create a couple of other light rigs. I'll grab this one here. I'll move it off to the side like this. Then what I'll do is I'll grab its master and I'll move that up so that's pointed like this towards the chopper model. Then what I'll do is, just to make it a little bit faster, I'll just grab this light card and I'll just go ahead and copy the settings and paste it over to this one. Next, what I'll do is I'll make the adjustments on this one. And because this is a little bit too big, I'll make this, let's go with 250 or 200. Let's do 200 by 200. Then what we'll do is we'll lift it up and we'll pull this out as well so that now we're illuminating from the side, sort of a fill light. Then what we'll do is, instead of using the octagon, what we'll do is we'll use a simple window box, and that'll give us a nice window reflection on the side of the motorcycle. At the same time, let's go ahead and change the light temperature, and let's make it a little bit of a warmer tone, like this. Let's go ahead and bring up our light intensity to a value of 2, and also our map value of 1.5. And I'll pull this out just a little bit further. Then let's create another studio light rig. With this studio light rig, we'll go ahead and move this off to the side as well. I'll grab its master by simply hitting the page up key. I can grab the master object here, and I'll move that up as well. Then what I'll do is I'll grab this light here, and we'll just go ahead and copy the parameters over to this one, just so that we don't have to waste time. And I'll simply move that and adjust it as well. And this one I'll leave as the default, which is a nice simple softbox on this side. From here, we can now render. If I go to the camera view, let's go and set up a couple of globals here. Without having anything actually selected, I'm just going to go ahead and check not visible to camera. Now, all of our studio light rigs will not be visible to the camera. These are global sections. These will allow you to just make global adjustments without having to have anything selected. Next, I'll also go ahead and change our shadow quality. We have low, medium, and high. Low just sets all the studio light rigs to a shadow sample of 16. Let's just use the low for now, just because we're test rendering. At this point, you'll also notice as I select a light on the rig, we also get a visual indicator in the studio light rig as well. All the properties of that light get loaded into the UI so you can quickly make adjustments to it, and you can select all the lights at the same time and you can make global changes to any of the parameters. It makes it very fast and easy to set up your lights, as you see here. So now what I can do is I can just make sure that we load the render preset just so that we're locked and loaded and ready to go. I can go ahead and set our shadow qualities here to low, and I can render a frame. As you can see, with a few clicks in a couple of minutes, we can get a very beautiful studio light render on this model. Next, let's take a look at a couple of other things. Right now, I'm pretty happy with the solution here, but I've already previously made a lighting setup for doing renders of cars and motorcycles. Let's go ahead and bring that in and just use this on this model. That's the other thing that's good about this Studio Light Rig, is the efficiency at which you can work. If I bring up the Mental Ray Studio Light Rig, you'll notice right now we have 3 different light rigs that we've set up in this scene, which gives us a pretty good, beautiful setup on this particular model. In any case, I can always go up here to the top here and I can copy the Studio Light Rigs and I can use them later on in other scene files, just as the case that we're about to do. I can simply come in here and I can select a specific light and I can use my removal tool and that'll allow me to remove it from the scene. I can also globally remove all the lights from the scene. Now that we've removed all the lights from the scene, let's go ahead and bring in a previously saved rig and really get a beautiful render. Let's go ahead and just paste in all the Studio Light Rigs that we've set up previously in another scene file. The efficiency of this is that I can set up a light rig that I use for a product model or anything that I like to use over and over again, and I can simply repurpose it on multiple scenes. As you can see here now, we have a beautiful softbox set up here for the reflections of this motorcycle. We have one above the motorcycle that really contours towards the beauty of the lines of the motorcycle. And then we have nice blue softboxes on the side. We also have a nice softbox grid here, which also illuminates the backdrop here. As you can see here, it illuminates the backdrop of the cyc wall. Also, as I select any one of our Studio Light Rigs, you'll notice we also get a visual indicator letting us know which light map is chosen on the selected light. The reason for that and the workflow is very simple. If I'm working in object color, or let's say I'm working in a non-shaded viewport, I can simply still select my lights and know cleanly and easily, very fast, which light map I'm working with and all the light parameters as well. Let's go here to material color now. Let's go jump down to the actual camera view. Let's render a final beauty pass here. I'll go ahead and turn off visible to camera, and I'll also increase from this low shadow samples all the way up to our high, which sets the shadow samples to 64 on all the Studio Light Rigs. Let's go ahead and do another render here and see what the final beauty render looks like on this motorcycle. There you have it, a beautiful Studio Light render within just a few minutes. The Studio Light Rigs have been developed by professionals to get you to the end result much quicker and more efficiently. The first time you use it on a project, you'll notice how quick and easily you can set up your studio lights to get to your end result. You'll save time and money over and over again on your next projects.